Well, you've guessed right. It's that time of year again, folks. It's bluebell time. Now, the wood that I've been to for the last couple of years has most inconsiderately been fenced off. Private property, danger, no entry, trespassing will be prosecuted, etc. All those sorts of signs gone up. And much as I loved it in there, because it was my wild garlic retreat as well, I am fairly law-abiding and decided, okay, they obviously don't want you in there. It's owned by a quarry company. There are some huge holes as you wander around, so I'm guessing at some point somebody's maybe fallen in and they've decided just to fence it off, which is a crying shame. So I've had to come out in search of new woods. This place is beautiful, but I'm just not seeing what I want to see, or I'm not feeling what I want to feel. And I'm not quite sure which of those it is. I've seen a composition that I quite like, and part of the problem is trying to position yourself where you're not crushing any bluebells, and yet you're still getting the image that you want. There's a hole there where there isn't a bluebell, and it's tricky. And it really is a case of fine-tuning everything. I've put the 70 to 200, oh, that might be a better position. I've put the 70 to 200 on. I'm trying to exclude as much of the sky as is humanly possible because it is a very bland grey day, which is frustrating because when I woke up this morning, there was some beautiful dappled light and I thought, oh, this is going to work nicely. So we'd got sunshine, but we'd got some broken clouds. So as the clouds scudded across the sky, we got shafts of light. And I thought, oh, that's perfect, that is. Oh, I'm trying to balance in between bluebells. I've come down here and we have no sunshine and we have lots and lots of heavy cloud. So it doesn't seem to matter if I go out into the woods at sunrise, sunset, or the middle of the day. I never get decent light, which is most irritating. So I've just got to make the most of what I've got. And you might wonder why I'm fiddling so much. When I put the 70 to 200 on, because it's got its own foot, I have to turn the tripod head round, and that moves all the knobs and twiddly bits. Then I don't know which way I'm supposed to move things. That's about as good as I can get on that, I think. This is going to be an image stack. That's not quite level. I'm shooting at f3.2, which is just blurring out the background nicely. I'm at ISO 100, I'm at 1/25th of a second, and I have the polarizer on. That's bringing out the tones in the bark. Well, this is the image that I'm looking at. I'm just going to put the screen back in. Right, let me see if I can. Oh yeah, it zooms in further. I'm actually out at about there, and then I've gone for the left-hand clump of bells in focus, and then I've got the right hand, those ones there in focus, and I'm really not quite sure which one works better, but I can't point when I'm on the camera, I like the tree stumps and the way it fades off into the distance, and I haven't got too much sky in. We'll go for 1/20th because I want it quite light and airy. I want a 2-second timer delay, and I have no, that's a bit too much. No, let's get rid of that one. Didn't like that. I know I wanted it light and airy, but that was too light and airy. I'm doing a focus stack because I want all the bluebells in focus. Doing it this way gives me the option to have just the one bell in focus, or the one stem of bluebells, as an image on its own. And then also, if you see a scene that you don't really know whether it's going to work, give yourself options. The light's gone again, but as I've walked around the corner, I spotted these. Now that there beech tree with its little branches coming. Oh, it's another sapling actually. But when you stand here, not there maybe here. It looks very much like there's branches coming off this trunk. And that kind of caught my eye a little bit, along with this group of three. So that one, and that one. And the mass carpet of bluebells that you can see underneath it. So I'm just going to wait for the light to come back. The clouds, they're moving quite well. Let me just see if I can... You can see up there we've got patches of blue sky and patches of white clouds. The sun's lurking away up here. So that should come back fairly soon. Well, the sun has finally come out. Woohoo! And I've been waiting for what seems like forever. I've set up for this shot, I'll flip you around and show you it, and I'm going to do an image stack simply because I want the foreground and the first tree in focus, and then the rest of it can fall off. To that end, I'm shooting at f5. Let me flip you around. The three I'm shooting are these three here. Oops, it's out of focus, that wasn't very good, was it? Yes. These three here, and I want the foreground, the frontmost one, in focus, and then the bluebells at the front in focus, and then I want it to fall off. Now I have just done an image. I will pull this out. Hold on here, it's not really going to work this because of the reflections with the overhead light, but we'll give it a try. There you go, that's the sort of thing I'm after. Few little highlights in the background, but very much backlit, which was what I was after. And again, now the light has gone. But we can't have it all, can we? Just for a few fleeting seconds, we're getting some light. And as I've been waiting for the light to come through, I've spoken to a couple of locals who've walked past, and they've all said the same thing. This is nowhere near peak bluebell season down here. They're late this year. So another couple of weeks, I may well be back. I wasn't impressed when I came into the wood, but now I've wandered a bit further in, I'm getting more and more impressed. Fingers crossed. Right, after wandering around these woods for a considerable time, I need to take a leaf out of my own book and stop thinking about the images I've seen on social media. If you're anything like me, and I hope to God you're not, you'll go, I want to shoot bluebells, and you'll spend a month researching locations, trying to avoid the honey spot locations. Let me tell you, the temptation to dive down to Micheldever Woods this weekend has been incredibly strong. You'll find what you think is a wonderful location, not too many photos, just enough, or not too many photos on Google should I say, but just enough to whet one's appetite. You look at the weather forecast and think, oh, it looks glorious, we'll have dappled light, it'll be fairly warm, excellent. You'll rock up at said location and you'll go, Really? That's nothing like what I was after, because I pre-visualised the images that I wanted. And what I wanted was a carpet of bluebells. Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm not about to be surprised by anybody. A carpet of bluebells, some beautiful oaks or beech, doesn't matter, or even birch, with branches coming off maybe a quarter or a halfway up the tree trunk, with or it would be beech, with beech leaves on that would catch the light. I've spent far too long looking at images from amazing woods, and that's planted the seed in my head, and now everything I see is not what I wanted to get. But I think I've finally come across a little scene that I'm kind of quite happy with. The sun has finally broken through the clouds, and I've gone up to F9. I've done a portrait image and a landscape image, and I kind of quite like both of them because the light is quite harsh, but it's dappled because we've got a bit of tree canopy coming through. I'm getting some nice light on the side of the tree trunks. There's a beautiful beech sapling. The leaves are catching the light. There's a little bit of a breeze, there's a little bit of movement. And then we've got a small carpet of bluebells. Now, I don't think these bluebells are out fully yet. Maybe that cold snap that we had has delayed them a bit. But yeah, I think it's not the image I was wanting, and it's not the image I envisaged. A bit of a tongue twist, that image I envisaged. But I believe I'm actually quite liking that. Let me just get that lined up again. The light's changed again, and I wanted an image of the sapling on its own. The sapling in the foreground, whoops-a-daisy, and then behind it there are 3 of these. I don't want to say oak, they could be beech trees. And with the light, I can't find me flipping cursor, there it is, catching on the leaves, the green is glowing quite nicely. The trunks are graduated in the depth of colour as they fade out. So the one nearest to the beech sapling is quite dark, the one behind it a little bit lighter, the one behind that lighter again. Well, my tummy rumbling tells me it's time to go home, and having just looked at my clock, I've been out since 7:30 and it is now 12:05. So I'm trying to head back to the van, although I'm not entirely sure which way the van is. As I say, I've never been here before and I've gone down so many little paths. I think I want to be over there. We'll see. But I just saw one last scene. I thought, not sure, but I'm going to take it, because if I don't, I'll regret it. Let me swizz you around and we'll see if we can show you what we're up to. So, what I've come across, if I can bend this down, this little clump of bells here, that tree stump or tree trunk, the little leafed path leading through, and at the back there's a mass of bluebells. These aren't totally in bloom yet. As I said, some of the locals have already said another couple of weeks this place will be phenomenal. So I am going to come back, probably. I've come down fairly low on the tripod. I'm still on the 70 to 200, and the observant amongst you will notice that I've got the polarizer on. So no other filters. If you're going to do woodland, for me, a polarizer is essential. I'm not sure if the likes of Baxter and Malley use them. I would imagine they do. But certainly for me, I get a much more pleasing effect. I've gone portrait orientation. So I am shooting at, well, I started off at f5 to really throw the background out, but then the foreground stems weren't all in focus. So I moved up to f13 and 1/13 of a second, and I've just been waiting for the light. Yeah, it's not a startling image, but I knew I'd regret it if I didn't take it. And that's it. That's me, my first foray into bluebells this year. Might be more, really don't know. Have a great weekend. Hope you like the images. Let me know what you think. Make a comment down below. They're not my usual style. I don't know if they work. Sometimes what works to me doesn't work to you. What works to you doesn't work to me. So let me know what you think, because it'll either encourage me or it'll give me a slap in the chops and say, don't be stupid, woman, give up. And we'll go from there. So I will catch you next Sunday. Bye for now.